Hello, it's just me. What's going on? Hello, everybody. Hope your week is going well. I'm here and so glad to see all of these wonderful familiar names in here. I'm going to go through some of the chat real quick because, man, you guys have been here a while, super early. I'm going to try to highlight some of these things real quick. Josephine, hello. Thank you for your passion. I mean, you've been in here since 8 o'clock tonight. First off, Mississippi Masala. How great is that movie? Love that one. Let's see. Been watching old non-Disney animated. Some of that animation is great. Birthdays today. That's a fun topic. Emily Blunt, Dakota Fanning, Kelly McDonald, Amelia Jones, Aziz Ansari, Josh Gad, Peter Fonda. I mean, there's a few I like in there. I still think Aziz Ansari got a bad rap. But let's not talk about that yet. All right, Stan. Let's get into this. I went to Knock at the Cabin last night. My wife and I celebrated our 10-year anniversary, and we don't get a lot of time away from kids, so we took advantage of it yesterday while they were at school, and we went and got lunch, and then we took advantage of it last night. Left them with my mother while we went and watched a movie, and we chose Knock at the Cabin. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of a in-between week. There was a lot of stuff that I wanted to see coming out soon, a lot of stuff that wasn't playing in the theater anymore, and we'll talk about another thing in just a moment that I kind of want to rant about, but the whole theater situation is getting weird out there. Anyways, Knock at the Cabin. Why does everybody hate it? Like, I'm not necessarily an M. Night Shyamalan apologist, but I thought it was pretty well done. I did not read the book, which I understand a lot of people being upset if they have read the book and it's not a good adaptation. But even then, like books that I've read that have been made into movies, a lot of time it's just not adapted super well. It's a different medium. I get that it's going to be pretty different. I kind of really liked it. I thought Bautista was kind of incredible in it. Jonathan Groff was good. I thought that he was a little underutilized. The child actor, unfortunately, offhand, I don't know her name, but she did pretty great. I thought it was a decent story. I didn't think that it suffered much. A lot of people said the ending fell apart for them, and I disagree. It felt interesting. You know, I was compelled pretty much the entire time. So yeah, this is an odd one for me because it seems to be polarizing a lot of people, and I've liked most of Shyamalan's stuff. So it's odd that it's getting the hate that it has. All right, we'll go into more because I'm sure that there's more comments from Stan when I get down there in just a moment. What's going on, Cam? Let's see. Favorite children's picture books. The old Golden books. I love those. I even bought the Disney's Haunted Mansion one for my kids from Orbit recently. I think it was last Christmas I gave that to them. And yeah, we've read through that a lot. Let's see. Let's try to go through some of these other. James and the Giant Peach. I love that one. And then Willy Wonka is incredible, of course. What's up, DC? Oh man, we're going to talk about this in a little while for sure, DC. Thank you for that. We'll discuss. That's been wild. Hilton, I agree. It's been an insane day. Oh man. Yeah, again, we'll talk about that in a minute at the end of the announcements because Thursday went hard today and there's no letting up over the next week. Paul, what's going on? It is time. Brian, my friend, hello. Ken is here. What's going on, Ken? Let's see. Skulder is here and on time this week. Hello. Tony, my friend. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much. You're recording a podcast tonight. Good luck with that. Sardis says, let's spend some money. Yes, far too much money, that's for sure. The Post of Lament from Fun City was a nice touch. It was, although the Fun City thing was rough too, because they did get nominated for Best Commentary. I don't know. Cam, strength is when you see a new release and don't do shit. Well, guess what? I bought not a single thing today. Strong. What's going on, John? Cam, come on. Anyways. Let's see. It's essentially an ethical dilemma in movie form. I kind of liked it, but I'm conflicted. The whole thing, yeah, it's all an ethical dilemma. It was the trolley problem, literally, by definition. Yeah. Quite liked Knock, and I really like Post, and I really dislike Post Unbreakable. There's a lot of stuff Post Unbreakable that's really good from him. Damn. Yeah, I'm sure the ending is much more nihilistic in the book, but you can do that in a book. That's much easier to deal with that. Let's see. The young actress playing the daughter was excellent, not precocious at all until she needed to be when she got the nod. Would not be here at 4:30 a.m., but it's hard. Oh, congratulations. Happy Independence Day in Estonia, Skolder. That's wow. Yeah, that's pretty early to be here. I love it. Food. Yeah, got to talk about food. I like Cam. You are always asking how the food is. What's going on, Bren? Stab. Hello, hello, Miss Erica. Uh, DC saw Babylon finally. That is on my soon list. I need to see that soon. What's going on, Dave? Got my copy of Love and Saucers. Haven't cracked. Good luck with that. It's an interesting one. Chris Kohler. Hello. All right. So the theater thing I just mentioned. I don't know if this is for anybody else, but I like this whole week I took off just because I've been exhausted. Everything leading up to the awards, which we're going to talk about tonight, obviously, and then it's been a really rough couple of months with one of my kids, and so I took this whole week off because it was our anniversary. And while looking at that, I was looking at like what would be the best day to go see a movie during the day while the kids are at school. There is nothing open around here before. I think the earliest showtime that I'm finding within like a 40-minute drive is like 1:15 or 1:30. 1:15 or 1:30. I remember 10 a.m. showings. I remember like 9 a.m. showings in some places. I understand theaters have taken some hits and hiring is difficult and all that, but damn, this really sucks. It has been difficult to try to see stuff. Otherwise, I think we would have probably seen 3 movies this week. But by the time my kids are going to be getting home from school, we can't just be out after 2:45. It sucks. Really, really, really sucks. So yeah, have not gotten to watch that many. They do that once May gets here. It's hard to see anything around noon. It's so odd, so odd. Cam says saw a movie at 9:45 a.m. See, it's it's rough. Especially nowadays when I started taking every Friday off so I could focus on this and do interviews and stuff like that. I want to go to watch a movie sometimes, and it's just impossible. Anyways, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We are here by myself. I am here by myself this week because I had somebody cancel on me, unfortunately, and that's happened multiple times in the last couple of weeks. And I just decided to roll with it. So tonight, after the announcements, I'm going to go through a discussion by myself, and we're going to discuss films that primarily only star one person because, hello, it's just me. I thought that'd be funny to run through. It's one of the few topics that I've always loved about some of these types of films. Hey, Courtney, if you want to come on, you can get live right now, and I can invite you right now. Don't tempt me; I will do it. Yeah. So I've always loved films that have primarily one person, and then on top of that, I've always loved twin films and doppelganger films. I don't know why, just always intrigued me, and yeah, they're fun. So we're gonna go into that after tonight. Start thinking about ones that you enjoy. That's primarily one person. When I say primarily, let's say at least 90% of the film is one person. 90%. I know that gets tough for some of these, especially for some of these old ones that are before like the ones before around like the 90s. They have some that were one-man band type of movies, but they have a lot of other characters that come in and out. And even though they mostly carry the film, there's still a lot of other people in it. So sadly, I think my entire list is post 2000s, but I think it's a pretty fun one. Let's get into some announcements because I thought this was going to be kind of a slow week, and then today hit, and oh my God, the economy collapsed. Today has been insane. Let's get into it. So first thing, after our show last week, we got some announcements from Shout Factory about 2 site exclusives. This, of course, continues their trend of literally just about every single month releasing 1 to 2 titles that are site exclusives. By the way, they're all now upcharged to $30 rather than what they used to be. I think it was 25, 26, something like that. Now they're all $29.99. And you can only get these from their site. They don't send them out to anybody else. They are always limited to 1,500 copies, and it really fulfills that FOMO for all of those Scream Factory collectors out there. And it's rough. Like, I know that we've lamented on this every single month, but it's getting really old. And for some of these, you'll see, like, these would sell fairly well outside of the exclusive. I don't understand why they're doing it. It's not like if they made these non-exclusive, they would never sell 1,500 copies. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, yeah, it's rough. Tony, if you ever need a friend in the States that will ship well to you and you get like a big list of stuff, I'll help you out. I'll ship them to my house, and then I don't mind shipping to Australia. I can fill out a customs form, no problem. I've done that for many people. Just let me know. I'll help you out. So this one, we got a double feature here of Wheels of Fire from 1985 and Raiders of the Sun from 1992. This, like I said, limited to only 1,500 units. This is a double-barreled trip into the wasteland with this action-packed double feature. In Wheels of Fire, the highway warriors terrorize the last vestiges of humanity, and only the enigmatic wanderer known as Trace can stop their ruthless reign of terror. And in Raiders of the Sun, a precious source of gunpowder becomes the target of a brutal band of villains, and from the ashes of civilization, a new hero must rise up and restore order. This is interesting. At least this is the sort of thing. Like, this is a fun looking double feature, but not for $30 as a site exclusive. That it just immediately turns me off. On Wheels of Fire, we do get some decent bonuses. We got and all of these are all archival, unfortunately. We got an interview with Roger Corman, interview with the screenwriter Fred Bailey, interview with the second unit director Clark Henderson, and then on Raiders of the Sun, this one gets a new 2K scan. Unfortunately, Wheels of Fire did not get a new scan. And then on Raiders of the Sun, there's also an alt cut of the film, which is 80 minutes, and it's only in SD. So there's really not a whole lot on this, but no new features. It's a site exclusive, and $30. $30. Like, I do not understand this whatsoever. There are a few of these Scream Factory side exclusives that are actually really great films. Primarily, I'm talking about one in particular, The Velvet Vampire. That movie was released as a 1,000 unit, strictly limited side exclusive, and sold out so quickly. So quickly. Unfortunately, nobody else can pick it up because it was a side exclusive. It went out of print immediately, and now it's just gone. And now it sells on the secondhand market for like $140. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. DC, none of these side exclusives have ever gotten a 4K. I like the joke, but unfortunately, Scream Factory will likely not do a damn thing with these, sadly. Silent Mandible, what's going on, my friend? The other site exclusive for the month, this one is an odd choice. So this has The Great Texas Dynamite Chase and Eat My Dust. This is a double feature from 1976. And in The Great Texas Dynamite Chase, we have Claudia Jennings and Jocelyn Jones that are a pair of bandits who blast their way into banks with a carload of pure dynamite. When they take Johnny Crawford, who plays Slim, hostage, they ignite a fun-filled crime spree across the great state of Texas. And then in Eat My Dust, Ron Howard pops the clutch and tells Smokey to eat my dust. He is seriously into Darlene, and Darlene is seriously into fast cars, so Hoover steals a red-hot race car for the ultimate joyride, a screaming, squealing, shattering smash-a-thon. So oddly, on Eat My Dust, there is a new 4K restoration of the film from the OCN, which we don't usually get on something like this. There's an interview with Ron Howard, which is archival, of course. There's a making of. There's Leonard Maltin's interview with Roger Corman, and then an interview with Corman poster artist John Soleil, I imagine that's how you say it. And then Great Texas Dynamite Chase gets a new 2K scan. So again, not a whole lot new here, but there is some, and two new restorations. So I don't know. I don't know about this one. This one is odd. I've never seen either of these. It's yeah. Again, the whole side exclusive thing really pisses me off. Stan and John, I am not tired of talking about a Serbian film. I defend the hell out of that movie all the time. Wave, what's going on? They are FOMO dealers, 100%. Yeah, just joking, but so consider Slumber Party Massacre 1 and 2 that was out of print. Actually, Slumber Party Massacre 1 was never out of print. Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3 were out of print. 3 will likely never be coming back, from what I'm hearing. That's a little different. Very excited about the news for the Eureka. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Great redneck double feature, absolutely. Curious how much that 40th anniversary Knight Rider collection will be after it goes out of print. Yeah, that'll be pricey, I'm sure, especially because it's getting some great reviews. Shout Factory's time has come and gone. Unfortunately, that is accurate. Anthony is here. Hello. Ashton Anderson. How's my Thursday? It's not bad. I didn't work today. I spent some time at home, got some work done. I got all of the contest information from this last weekend sent into the retailers. So everybody that won a gift during the awards, you should be getting your stuff here soon. Hopefully they get that delivered quickly. But yeah, it's been a good day. Now we got some Kino stuff coming soon from Kino. We get The Hour Before the Dawn from 1944. And I love somebody commented, so like 5 a.m.? Yeah, basically. This is a Veronica Lake film shot by John F. Seitz, directed by Frank Tuttle. Unfortunately, it appears from everything I looked up that this is not a very well-regarded movie. I had never heard of this one, and it sounds like that's why. It's supposed to be not good. Either way, I'm glad that Kino is rescuing stuff like this. Another one coming from them soon is The Looters from 1955 with Rory Calhoun and Julie Adams and Ray Danton. This one is directed by Abner Bieberman, who did The Price of Fear. No news on when this is coming, but it will get a new 2K scan of the 35mm fine grain. Another new one from Kino. We are getting High, Wide, and Handsome from 1937. This is an Irene Dunn film. This is coming on April 18th, and we get a 4K scan that Universal did for this. There's a new audio commentary by Eddie Von Mueller, and that's it. Everything I read on this one actually looks like this is a pretty well-made film. We got Oscar Hammerstein is associated with this, and I am curious to check this one out. Anyone seen this one? I've not. DC, how would you feel if Kino acquired Shout or at least their library? Ooh. Oh, man. That would be interesting. I would love to see what they would do with the pricing, like immediately. That would be very, very curious. Oh, man. Because a lot of the Shout stuff never goes below like $16 unless it's a real bottom of the barrel thing, unfortunately. Let's see. John says I could use a Kino sale soon. I believe there is one coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Somewhere between like 2 and 3 weeks. Let's see. Yes, I love that we're getting 2K scans of these ones. Usually it's the studio doing them, but yes, we are absolutely getting a lot of new scans on these. Irene Dunn is wonderful in everything, Stan. All right, let's go to our next one, which is another Kino. And this one's pretty exciting. This is Paris Burning from 1966. This was digitally restored last year from a 4K scan of the OCN that American Zoetrope and Francis Ford Coppola worked on this together. And this one has a hell of a cast. We got Jean-Paul Belmondo, Charles Boyer, Leslie Caron, Jean-Pierre Cassel, George Chakras, a whole bunch. Let's see, there's some others. Elaine Delon, Kirk Douglas, Glenn Ford. There's some other big names. Anthony Perkins. Robert Stack is in this. A couple more. Little, Orson Welles. Nobody big at the end there. This is directed by Rene Clement, and it is a classic. Absolutely a classic. One that is on my wish list for soon, for sure. Shout Factory is about to let everyone down in March. You could say that about every single month, Jeremy. That's you know how our group is on Facebook. Everyone always complains. Yes, Anthony. Once they acquired the Alf thing, I've been expecting that every single month, and they've still not done a damn thing with it yet. Well, I think they did like a marathon, but that was it, right? Unfortunately. Sardis says Paris Burning is great. Yes, the big bus is now available for pre-order, and immediately went on my wish list so I could pick it up in the next one. We'll talk about. So you know what? Now's a good time. Let's talk about this. So this last weekend, how not that I'm just like looking for a bunch of compliments. How did everybody think the whole Shelf Shock Rewind went? This was the big weekend. I'm curious to see how everybody felt like it was felt in the community, see what everybody felt with the response to it, because oh man, it has kind of blown me away that people have cared at all. Like the fact that Vinegar Syndrome ran a 24-hour sale for 2 of the partner labels just because of the award show was incredible. It was such a validating feeling. Behind the scenes, there's been so many just interesting DMs from people that were either nominated or got awards. Seeing people respond to it was incredible. But overall, I just want to see what you guys thought. It is so interesting just to see something like this come about and not be a part of the community, because I'm standing on this side of the computer and I can't really just watch all of it come out and see it be responded to. Let's see. Tony says me and Steven have done so well. Thanks, Tony. It was a lot, I got to admit. DC, it was amazing. It was pretty fun. Saw a lot of praise online. That's good. Lots of fun, says Couch. My friend Jeremy Long is here. Hello. The show's amazing. There's no accolades. I was just asking everybody thought. We'll ask again soon about things that we can improve for next time, because obviously it seems like if we don't do a next one, there's going to be riots. So we will have to be doing that soon. Get working on it, because this last one, just to do this, took 5 months. So we're gonna have to start talking about the next one. Home videos, love the award show. Thank you so much. Spaghetti, hope all is well. I haven't seen a check-in, although I haven't been on Discord much today. I hope that you are doing all right. I know that you've had a rough few days. Stan said it was fun. That's amazing. Thank you. Bren, really enjoyed it. Love seeing the labels using the awards on their advertising. Can't wait for next year. Me too. Stab says, thought the show was awesome. Thank you. Kind of wish the trivia questions had been asked verbally so we could immediately start typing and not have people jumping ahead because they read faster. Well, that's exactly why I didn't do it verbally. Oh, man. Sardis says it ran pretty smooth. Some audio problems, but incorporating the tribute added a lot to the atmosphere. Audio problems. That's probably the different levels of the other videos, right? So a few of this is mostly on me, because I probably should have been able to take more time and equal out all the levels. Unfortunately, they weren't all professionally recorded, and I just did not have enough time to jump in and edit every single video as they came in. But I did edit quite a few of them, and it could have been a lot worse, I will tell you that. Let's see. Loved it, but needed more nudity. That was the after show. Brian, I said I went live in the Discord right after, but you did not show up. You missed it. Yes, trophies. I've heard this so many times. I wanted to make a plaque at least for Kayla Janice, but unfortunately has not worked out because I'm poor. Let's see. Watched the whole show. Enjoyed the guest presenters. I'm so glad that we got so many for that. Me and Steven had great chemistry together. Enjoyed all the pre-recorded folks. Have discovered a lot of other channels. Nice. And ordered out of the blue. I mean, that's important for sure. Jeremy says there are accolades. People. Yes, you're okay. If that's accolades, then yes. Let's see. Like the guest presenters. Nice to meet Michael Keane on the channel. Nice to see Michael Keane on the channel. I mean, he's been on here before. He's been on Reconnected. And funny enough, I wasn't going to call him out. He was supposed to be on tonight, and he was not able to do it. So, unfortunately, it could have been a double dose of Michael Keane for you. Let's see. Yes, Jeremy, yours was obviously professionally recorded. Due to time zones, missed the live show. Like, oh, yeah, I totally get that. Estonia, unfortunately, is a little further east than the Midwest. Uh, yes, nice to see Aaron Pin and Michael Keane join in. They're both friends for sure. Let's see. That's a good comment. uh, John says, surprised more by who wasn't involved. Well, now I kind of want to get a text to see who you're talking about. Maybe you should tell me that list. All right, let's go to the next announcements. We are getting on 4K UHD from Kino, Bad Lieutenant. Why does that say 2023? That's not a 2023 film. Brand new 2023 HDR Dolby Vision Master we are getting. We don't have a release date on this one yet. Of course, this is the Harvey Keitel film, written by Zoe Lund and Abel Ferreira, directed by Ferreira. I don't know why I said his name two different ways there. I'm very curious to see if they are putting this out, if they have any others from him. It would be nice because we really need another Miss 45 release now that Draft House is kind of no more. Very curious about that. Let's see. Brian says the wife loves physical media skit is an all-time classic. That was all Steven for sure. Jeremy said I had to purchase my own Webby Award that I won, like $500 as a winner. So trophies are expensive. I do not have 7 kids to feed. Oh my God. Yeah, I would hope that this is the slip too, DC. Let's see. Mondo, Matt, I bought. Oh, that's right. You did buy that set as soon as it was announced. I totally forgot about that. I don't even know when it's coming out. I should have waited for the Eureka one. And the French one, I don't remember. I don't even think it's English friendly. Oh, man. Let's see. 4K Bad Lieutenant. Yes, it is a big one. Yeah, I would not be surprised either. Somebody else has to do it for sure. Let's see what else is going on. Oh wow. Let's see. Jeremy is texting me saying he can have a guest. Jeremy, if you want to hop on, I mean, I'm not going to say no. Does everybody want Jeremy on tonight? Hopefully, Jeremy, can you on the fly make up a list of films with one person in them 90% of the time? Bed Lieutenant is a truly disturbing film. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it doesn't have subs or anything. That's rough. Maybe you can sell it on eBay. Maybe. I still like the typo stand. Yeah, a lot of the Le Chat Quifume releases are only in French. The whole fact that hardly any of them are actually English friendly is rough. Very rough. Because I like the work that they've done over there. Let's see. I'm going to invite Jeremy. Let me see. All right, Jeremy, I'm going to send you the link where I always do, and you can hop on. I'm going to put in my headphones so that I can hear you. Trying to. Oh wait, I can't send it there because you don't have a Facebook account anymore. I'll just text it to you, and I think that you can get on because I believe you have a Mac. All right, let me put these in. Oh, Ashton, that Possession 4K, you don't need to worry about that because there is another one coming out supposedly, and the rumor is that Second Sight is actually going to be releasing the 4K of Possession. Let me make sure my audio is still coming in. Okay, still good. All right, I should be able to hear now. And as soon as Jeremy comes on, we'll be good. All right. Hopefully he can get on in just a second. Anyways, we'll keep going until he gets here. Anyways, let's see. Bad Lieutenant has the most uncomfortable scene of women getting pulled over ever. I've still not seen Bad Lieutenant, actually. So I'm very eager to see this. Jeremy's always a great guest, but it might turn in. No, it definitely won't be a 4-hour stream. He's going to see Cocaine Bear tonight, and I did not plan on a late stream, and I might actually be streaming for the patrons tonight after this. So yeah, it probably won't be too late. Come on, Jeremy. Yeah, Ashton. The rumor is, and you know what? Let's talk about this in just a minute. We'll talk about the second sight rumors in just a moment when we get to the other Zwalski set. So this is really cool. I did not expect this. We are getting on March 28th here in the US a 4K release of All Quiet on the Western Front. This is coming from MPI. This is one of this is the label basically that's attached to Dark Sky, I believe. We don't know a lot about this release yet, but I'm so glad that Netflix gave this up somehow. I did not expect this whatsoever. Yeah, very curious to see how they do with this one. This is, I believe, the third or fourth 4K release that has been announced of this film, which is really nice. Glad to see it getting a lot of accolades. And after I think it was the BAFTAs that just happened. I think it was the BAFTAs. This film made out like a bandit. And with that being the case, I would not be surprised to see this more rewarded during the Oscars than we had thought. So we'll see on that one. Chris says, going to an Alamo Drafthouse next week for the first time to see Possession on the big screen. That sounds amazing. First off, Alamo Drafthouses are a lot of fun. But that sounds really good. I've never seen Possession on a big screen. That movie is incredible. Mondo asking, have you heard of or watched the trailer? I have. It's like El Topo meets Inglourious Bastards. All That Is Man, who's usually in the chat, he'll probably show up in like 30 minutes or so. He shared it with me, and then I have seen some other people talking about it. It looks amazing. It looks so wild. I'm very eager to see it. And if you have not seen the trailer for Sisu, or I think that's how you say it, I am very much looking forward to it when it comes out. And if I remember right, the director of this, here's a Fake Flip. Hello.
Fake Flip here after dark.
How we doing, buddy?
I thought about being naked as soon as you brought me on, just to satisfy Brian, but I thought, well, I would satisfy one person and scare away another dozen viewers.
Nah, you could have had the hair covering your nipples.
That's true. Well, I meant fully naked.
Well, your hair's very long.
How's it going?
Doing well. How are you? We're talking about Sisu. Have you seen the trailer for that yet?
Which one?
I assume it's pronounced Sisu, S-I-S-U.
No, I have not seen that one yet. Sisu. Nope.
It is from the director of Rare Exports. He also did Big Game, and it looks wild.
That trailer just dropped today?
Like 3 or 4 days ago.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it later. I'm interested now.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Also, hi, Brian. Hi, Stan. If every now and then I think maybe a solo stream is good just to change the pace. So that's why I asked you privately in text, because I was like, if he wants a guest since so-and-so bailed, then I'll jump on, because I happen to be free before seeing Cocaine Bear, and I'm not normally free on Thursdays.
Literally today in the car, my wife asked me, because we went to Costco right before this, she goes, so who's on tonight? And I said, well, Michael canceled on me, so I'm just going to do it myself, and I'm going to do this funny theme to go with it and say it's, one-person movies. She's like, how come you don't have Jeremy do it? That was the very first response. I said, well, he's pretty much always busy on Thursdays, and it's very late to ask.
I am, but if I'm available for you, my friend.
Well, that's amazing.
By the way, selfishly, we were talking about this a second ago since I was in the chat before joining. I selfishly don't want them to re-release this because I just spent a lot of money on it recently. So, let me at least hang on to this for a couple more years and then re-release it.
Mine's on the other side. Surprisingly, I was able to track down a complete Drafthouse collection, and I've got half of them here and half of them across the room, and of course that one's on the other side.
Of course. Somebody said hi to me and Cat Stevens. That's Sardis. And Cat Stevens was right here, but she disappeared.
Sardis is amazing.
Hi,
yeah, Mondo, that Sisu is definitely directed by the same guy that did Rare Exports.
Hi, Anthony. Hi, Spaghetti. Hi, Mandible. Oh, and this will, and what's this? I know you.
I know you get a lot of Dave Grohl jokes, but have you gotten a bunch of Pearl Jam related jokes?
Yeah, it's really the only song that has my namesake to it. So,
well, which of the two jokes do you like better?
Oh, okay. I'm out of here.
I mean, that was a decent pun on the fly.
Can you imagine if in some alternate universe, Dave Grohl was the lead singer of Pearl Jam instead of Foo Fighters, or he wrote a song called Jeremy instead of Pearl Jam? Then it would be like doubly weird.
Yeah.
I'm very stoked to see Cocaine Bear, and I have to leave here probably in like an hour. So I heard somebody mentioning about turning into a super long stream. And as much as I would love to beat my record once again, I will not be doing that today. So everybody can take a breather. It's not going to be a 7-hour stream.
I think I'm seeing Cocaine Bear on Saturday, so we can finally talk about one pretty quickly after you see it.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about it. It looks fucking dope as shit.
In the meantime, let's talk about Superman. So Warner Brothers is releasing all of the first 4 Superman films on 4K. And this is an Amazon exclusive, your favorite store, big steelbook collection that they're doing for all of them. And
Amazon exclusives, TBH. Maybe I haven't gone that long.
There's a few. Most of them, surprisingly, have not been U.S. Amazon exclusives. Like there was an Amazon Japan exclusive steelbook of Midsummer that is really nice.
There was an Amazon exclusive of Midsummer?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that. Is it cooler than the A24 exclusive?
Yes. I think I've sent you pictures of it because I've got it here.
Oh, maybe you did, but it's across the room. Oh, Stan's seeing Cocaine Bear this weekend.
Nice.
He says I have to see a bear about it. Yeah, I'm stoked. That was my college roommate's nickname.
Sisu is from Skolder's Northern Neighbors. Yes, this is Amazon's greatest kryptonite is shipping steelbooks.
Ironic.
Okay. All right, so this is odd because they are doing a couple like cool things and then just some really dumb decisions. So we are getting reversible steelbooks, which I think is really cool because they've got updated designs, and then on the other side is old school posters. The outstretched arms of, oh God.
Put me down immediately.
So yeah, this is pretty neat. You know, double-sided steelbooks. That's smart. But then on top of that, they're not releasing all of the Superman films. It's just the first 4, and they're doing it in I believe 5 different steelbooks for 4 films. Which I'm going to check the link to make sure I've got that right. Let me see, because I could have swore that it was 2 different steelbooks for Superman 2, but I may be wrong. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So even when they do an exclusive on Amazon, they still don't do it right.
Nope. But a lot of that is Warner Brothers. Yes, Paul, it does have the Donner cut and it does have the theatrical cut. Couch wants to know, favorite Superman. Do you have one? Or are you a Superman movie friend?
I'm not as in general. I know I'm not as big of a DC person. Well, I feel like that's a pretty typical response, right? I'm more of a Marvel guy, but I am. I do see just about everything DC puts out, just because I like to give them the benefit of the doubt and hope for the best. And there's been a few here and there that I've liked. Obviously, I loved James Gunn's Suicide Squad. He knocked it out of the park, especially as opposed to the original. I thought Birds of Prey was a lot of fun. Obviously, the original Wonder Woman was pretty good. Not that sequel that we don't talk about. As far as Superman goes, I haven't liked a lot of the newer ones. I remember falling asleep in the theater during Man of Steel, believe it or not. Although I am happy that Zod's back in the new Flash movie, according to the trailer, because I do like Michael Shannon a lot. I will see that. That looks like a lot of fun, and I know. So we'll see. Anyways, no. I guess I would have to go with the default Christopher Reeves Superman. I think that's the last one I remember watching and like thoroughly enjoying, as opposed to some of the more recent Supermans.
The very first one or one of the other ones?
Probably the very first one. It's been a while since I've seen any of them. TBA.
Yeah, I would agree here. Paul says, I wish a Superman film would get away from Luthor or Zod. Could we at least get Brainiac or Mongol? Yeah, I agree there. And yeah, I would agree. Christopher Reeve is the best Superman. As for which is the best, Superman 2 might be. It's been a long time since I've watched these, though, I gotta admit.
Yeah, Superman or Superman 2, I agree. Again, it's been a long time. I'd have to give them all a rewatch to thoroughly judge and pick a favorite.
Yeah.
But definitely that era for me. I haven't been overly thrilled by any of the more recent Supermans.
Yep. Next up, we got our details on Party Girl, which is coming from Fun City on March 28th. This gets a new 4K restoration from the 16mm camera negative. On this, we get a newly filmed video interview with the director, Daisy von Schurler-Mayer. There is a newly filmed video interview with Parker Posey. New interview with music supervisor Bill Coleman. New interview with co-writer and co-producer Harry Brickmeyer. New audio commentary by writer Jake Fogelnest. And then all of your usual stuff like an image gallery trailer. And then there's a booklet with a new essay by DJ and writer Margaret Barton Fumo. And then, as usual, they are going to have a slipcover on this. And it does appear, Jonathan has said pretty much everywhere, that this is going to have the same style and quality of slipcover. It is, however, much cheaper because it went through MVD. So it is very inexpensive to pre-order pretty much anywhere. You can get this for like $21.
Anthony says he bets I'm a big fan of the Dean Cain Superman. I do actually have all 4 seasons of Lois and Clark on DVD. But more so for Terry Hatcher.
Somehow I'm not shocked. Coming from MVD Rewind on June 13th, they are now putting
Party Girl. I pre-ordered that, as you know, Ryan.
Of course, yeah.
And it will continue my being complete with Fun City Editions, which I think is the only label that I am complete with. 100%.
It's a good one to be complete on, though.
Yeah, they put out bangers left and right.
This is very true. MVD Rewind is putting out Witch Trap, which was also released by Vinegar Syndrome. This continues their foray into re-releases. They did say when they posted this, like, hey, just so everybody knows, don't put in the comments, these are just re-releases. And then everybody did it anyways. Unfortunately, this is one that has somehow pissed some people off, it appears, because it was just a regular Vinegar Syndrome release, kind of like some of the other ones they've done before. They've re-released some VSAs too. So I don't know. MVD Rewind has been a little hit or miss, but they did say they are working on some 4K titles and some other titles that have not been released previously. Mm-hmm. I did find it hilarious though that they touted that this will be the DVD premiere for Witch Trap, because it is getting a Blu-ray and DVD combo, and it was never on DVD.
It just skipped over DVD and went straight to Blu-ray. That's hilarious. It's hilarious that that's even a thing, and it's much more hilarious to brag about it.
Very much so. Let's see. Justin did not vibe with Party Girl. I mean, I kind of get that. Parker Posey's a little bit divisive, but if you like her, you love Parker Posey.
I like Parker Posey.
Christopher says Fun City lost some momentum with the lack of releases the past few months with leaving OCN, hoping they pick back up the pace. And from what I'm hearing is that they likely will be.
Okay.
But at the same time, we should have heard something for another title by now, perhaps.
Although
I believe on March 1st, we are getting the announcement of the Primetime Panic Volume 2 through OCN.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that'll be their last release through OCN.
So that'll still be on Vinegar Syndrome then?
Yes.
Okay. Sweet.
Let's see. People get mad over re-releases, Mondo, because they want a collection that's worth a lot of money, and that's it. They don't care about the films. Yep. That's exactly the issue. Next up, it was my anniversary yesterday, and I put out a video with my wife. Go watch it.
I watched it. It was lovely.
Good. Thank you.
It was adorable.
It was fun.
And now that your wife suggested me immediately as a guest, I like it even more.
Now we're going to get to today, which has been kind of incredible. There is a lot to discuss from today. So Indicator overnight, in the US at least, announced 2 box sets, which both look wild in their own ways. So this first one is Mexico Macabre, which is including Black Pit of Dr. M, The Witch's Mirror, The Brainiac, and The Curse of the Crying Woman. Curse of the Crying Woman. I believe all 4 of these were on the Casa Negra DVD that Synapse released years ago. There's still a few from that line that have not been put on Blu-ray now, but these are 4 that were from that line that our friend, Jean Peters, who's in the chat, he loves all of these, and this looks incredible. So I'm going to go through some of the original posters for these. Why don't you tell us what you're thinking about this?
Someone in the Discord, forgive me if I don't, because I don't even remember agreeing to be on a guest today. That's how short-term memory I have. But somebody in the Discord I saw said that they had that the only one that was maybe a weaker point was Black Pit of Dr. M. But even that was good, and that the other 3 were really good.
Yeah, John looks at the Brainiac as being a little lesser than the other 3, I think.
Okay. Either way, it sounds like a solid set.
Yeah.
I only have a few Indicator titles too, by the way.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's not one that I have many releases from.
Interesting. So we are getting new commentaries for all 4 of these titles. There is some new featurettes that are being made. There is some things like a TV special on Carlos Lopez Moctezuma from 2018. But one of the things that I thought was very cool, shout out to one of my favorite smaller labels, Mondo Macabro. We get a 2002 episode of the Pete Toombs and Andy Stark British television series Mondo Macabro that was on Mexican horror movies. So this is an overview of Mexican genre cinema from the 50s to the 70s. And that is awesome that we're able to get an episode of that. I would love to see that entire series released somehow. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but that would be fantastic.
I just want to see them shorten that to an acronym. Mondo Macabre, Mexico Macabre.
Oh man, let's go to the next one from Indicator, which this looks wild too. So this is From Hollywood to Heaven, the lost and saved films of the Ormond family. By the way, this and that Mexican Macabre set, these are both coming on May 29th in the UK and May 30th in the US and Canada for both of these. So these should both be all region releases since they're being released at the exact same time. So this is a family of filmmakers together. For almost half a century, June, Ron, and Tim Ormond, a Nashville mother-father-son trio, cranked out a wild bunch of movies from Lash LaRue westerns to the stripper gore musical outrage, The Exotic Ones, and plunged into every area of showbiz. What's more, they did it all on a shoestring, totally independently with no studio to back them. And then, at the height of their frenzied career, Ron and June experienced a spiritual awakening when their private plane crashed on the way to a premiere. From then on, they turned their back on secular show business to produce a series of shocking, surreal, religious pictures. This looks
like Mark Wahlberg.
Did you see the picture going around on him from Ash Wednesday?
No.
So he was on like the Today Show or something, and in the lower third, they had it said Mark Wahlberg, my 40-day challenge.
I just am like, you know, especially when he disses Boogie Nights,
right?
And I'm like, bruh, it's not even about that, really. Like when you break it down, but it's also like that's like arguably your best performance of your entire career.
Absolutely.
Anyways, this one had me at stripper gore musical.
Right?
I'll ignore the heaven stuff and watch the stripper gore musical. That's worth the price of the box set.
From what I hear, though, even the religious stuff is supposedly like wild to watch, and this has all kinds of special features, so many that I couldn't even list them all here because it was too long. This has 13 films in this release.
Wow! Not to mention it's presented by Wingdon.
Yep. And then on top of that, we got some shorts. We got a new 100-page book.
Wow.
It's incredible. And then
I trust Refn wholeheartedly, so I'll get it for that reason alone as well.
There you go. On top of that, they are also doing something with Fab Press where you can get a copy of The Exotic Ones, which was also produced by Nicholas Winding Refn, which is a big book by Jimmy McDonough, and it looks freaking incredible. And there are only 1,500 of these being made, and you have to buy it from Indicator in the UK if you want it.
Bastards. But it's like a bundle price with the book?
I don't. Well, yeah, I believe there is a bundle with it. Let me see.
It's tempting.
Well, and the other thing, like the Mexican Macabre set, it's not that expensive. Even they're doing pretty well with the prices right now. So the Mexican Macabre set is £43 direct from Indicator. The Hollywood to Heaven set is $50 direct from Indicator, and then the deluxe hardback book of the Exotic Ones is £75.
Wow!
However, if you go over to bundle, you can put them in your cart and get a 10% discount.
The book and the box set.
Yep.
And pounds ends up being pounds ends up being slightly more expensive US
just slightly.
Yeah. So it would end up being what you said, 75 for the book pounds.
£75, so probably like 83, 84 ish.
And then how much was the set?
50. So all in, after a $10 or a 10% discount, you're probably looking after shipping like 140 ish.
Yeah, we'll round up and say 150. It's tempting. I'll definitely get the box set for £50, presented by Refn and stripper gore musical. I'm in for that.
Yep.
Maybe the book.
Yep, not that bad overall.
Yeah, I'm in.
Cam says he survived a plane crash and went Kirk Cameron.
I like Dylan Smithy's comment because that's totally something Refn would do.
Nicholas Winding Refn presents a film by Nicholas Winding Refn. Oh, yeah. Terry says, I was already sold on the From Hollywood set, but hearing Aaron Pinn and Mark from Orbit speak on these makes it sound even better. I mean, overall, it sounds great.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I'll have to listen to that.
And yes, both titles are available in the US. I don't know about the book, but the only way to get the discount on the book is if you get at least 2 of these 3 new things that they're releasing.
That's good to so you could maybe get the book elsewhere, you just wouldn't get the discount.
And it is available from Fab Press. I just don't know how much more it is there or if they're shipping or whatnot. But
would probably be on the usual suspects in the
US. It already is. Yeah, you can already get it from Diabolic.
Oh, great. That I'm sold.
Absolutely. And then the day just kept getting better and better. Let's start talking about Eureka stuff, because this is what we kind of touched on earlier. They are putting out the Andrei Zwalski 3-film set, 1971, 72, and 88. And in this, we are getting 3 films that people have wanted for a very long time. We got the third part of the night, The Devil, and then finally, the big one, On the Silver Globe. This is all going to be from definitive 4K restorations.
Wow.
We've got a whole bunch of stuff related to this by Daniel Bird, who is like the resident Zwalski knowledge expert person. Absolutely stunning looking set. We've got Escape to the Silver Globe, which is a documentary from 2021. New commentary by Daniel Bird on the Silver Globe. There is some new interviews. There is so much stuff in here. New video piece by Daniel Bird on the cinematography. New video piece on the costumes and props. New documentary short. There's just so much in this. It looks incredible. Now, what I said earlier, from what I'm hearing from what I'm hearing, Second Sight has the rights to some Zwalski stuff as well, and that should be Possession as one of them. I don't know for sure what all we're going to get. However, this looks incredible. On top of that, if you are in the US and you need something that's region A because you do not have a region free player, supposedly Mondovision is still working on these 3 films and putting them out at some point. And maybe now that these have been announced for the UK, maybe now they'll be announcing them for the US here soon. But the last time I heard that was last summer. A lot of stuff can happen in 2022 and 2023 with the company. They've been kind of rumored to be doing this for like the last 5 years.
As a blessed region-free player owner, I will happily be getting this beautiful Eureka box set, but I hope for the rest of you that the Mondo comes out with the... And I will happily double dip on Possession any day of the week, despite having that limited edition release of it. Who put that out?
Mondovision. That's the same company.
Oh, okay. I love that set, but
yeah, it's very nice.
If Second Sight puts it out, I'll happily double dip. I love that movie.
Christopher Kohler, I'm hoping for Second Sight Eureka to put out the Blue Note, and The Important Thing Is to Love. I would not be surprised if those two are two that Second Sight did have. That's funny. Let's see. We'll be buying from Eureka. Good choice, Wave. I think most of us are on that page.
Region free for life. No regrets.
Never. One that is really cool. They did not just stop with a trilogy of films from Zwalski. We are also getting 2 other releases from them. One being Burning Paradise from '94. This is the same Burning Paradise that Vinegar Syndrome released. It is going to be the 2K restoration of the OCN that we got previously. And then they do list these as new, but I don't think these... the interview might be new with the actor Wong Kam Kong, but it says they've got a new feature-length audio commentary with Frank Jang. I don't know that Frank recorded a new one for this as opposed to the Vinegar Syndrome one. I'm not entirely sure. Let me pull up Vinegar Syndrome and check, because I could have swore he was already on the VS release. Jeremy, have you been watching any of these Hong Kong releases that you've been getting recently?
I have not. As you know, I find it extremely hard to balance current new releases for the year as I try to keep up on those and each and every year to make the most accurate best of list at the end of the year.
Right.
I usually find a hard time to balance that with,
of course,
getting in all these amazing things from Vinegar Syndrome and other places of older films, despite how amazing they look. Like, I think Biozombie looks like a lot of fun. I'm anxious to check it out, so I have to find the time for it. Same thing for... I actually didn't really know much about it, but when my Vinegar Syndrome package arrived this morning, Goodbye 20th Century looks like a lot of fun as well.
It really does. And speaking of that, if you are a patron on the channel, I got mine today too, and we're going to be doing a live stream after the show's over.
Hell yeah.
Yes, I was just about to say this, John. There is no Frank Jang commentary on the Vinegar Syndrome one. So if you want Frank Jang's supple voices to be working Burning Paradise for you, you might want this Eureka set. And Frank is great at what he does. However, so is Sam. So kind of want them both. Then Eureka didn't stop there. They went crazy because we are getting Hopping Mad, the Mr. Vampire sequels. And this has Mr. Vampire 2, Mr. Vampire 3, Mr. Vampire Saga 4, and Vampire versus Vampire. There is so much on this. And for those that didn't know, because somebody saw today that they were putting these out and says, when are we going to get the first Mr. Vampire? Eureka already released it, so you can get it.
Yay! I did not know that.
Anthony says, Jeremy, did you get your copy of Hitman Heart Wrestling with Shadows?
No, because I got it on Orbit, as you suggested, and it was in the same order as the pre-order of Party Girl. So curse that Parker
It'll
Posey.
be a while.
Although I already got my second Orbit order lined up. I think it was Stan earlier who said that Big Bus is available for
Yep.
for order now finally, which I'm stoked about. So as soon as that frickin' After Sun becomes available on Orbit again, my three piece order from them for free shipping is going to be Decision to Leave by Movie, After Sun by Movie, and Big Bus.
Nice. Good choice.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Let's see. John says I'm getting on Orbit tomorrow, or getting an Orbit order tomorrow. Nice.
Nice, John. What's in it?
So this one, we are getting multiple commentaries from Frank Jang and multiple commentaries from Mike Leader and Arna Venema. This is great. Love that they're doing this. And of course, this comes with a slip that looks great and a booklet. Just solid release overall. This looks fantastic. DC says same thing happened to me, but it was a bunch of films from Diabolic, including Martin 4K, so it will be delayed and delayed.
Mhm.
However, and I wouldn't suggest doing this every time, Jesse over at Diabolic is very kind, and sometimes if you message him and be like, Jesse, I want my stuff, and I'm kind of impatient, and sometimes he'll let you pay like $4 shipping or whatever and separate them, and that might be a good thing if you really want something soon. So, yeah.
What a guy.
Anthony says, I heard the entire cast of Scott Pilgrim are huge fans of Bret Hart.
I will buy that when I talk to them about it. This will be my first question whenever I meet any of them. I'll be like, excuse me, Brandon Routh, are you a big fan of Hitman Hart?
Have you seen Wrestling with Shadows? This looks incredible. So Severin today, they have 2 announcements. This first one is Danza Macabre. This is volume 1 of the Italian Gothic collection. And we are getting The Monster of the Opera, The Seventh Grave, Scream of the Demon Lover, and Lady Frankenstein. And we've got commentaries from Kat Ellinger, who produced this entire set. We've got interviews with people like Ernesto Gastaldi. We've got some archival audio interviews. We've got another commentary with Rachel Nisbet. We've got, let's see, commentary with Rod Barnett and Robert Monell. And then another commentary with Kat Ellinger and Annie Rose Malamet. This looks amazing because, first of all, this is like one of the best looking boxes that I've ever seen. How do you feel about this art?
I love the art. I'm not. I'm gonna get a bunch of slack for this. This isn't exactly my cup of tea. This release, as I think you know, Ryan. Maybe not based on those eyes.
No, I get it.
Same thing with the other Macabre set. That's why I didn't have too much to comment on it. It's just not my particular taste, unfortunately. I do love the art. It's a beautiful release in terms of the set, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna love it. I'm all for the other Severin release, though. I'm all in.
I kind of figured that was your one.
That we're about to get to.
Let's see. Check out Encounters of the Spooky Kind, says Paul. Box set is stunning.
Are you laughing at these comments?
There's so many, yes. We've got When Does Cat Sleep is one commentary, just her snoring.
That's true.
John says that David Gregory says there's 2 more sets of these coming, which is interesting. Yeah, so this looks fantastic. And then on top of that, they're releasing Drowning by Numbers, which is a Peter Greenaway film, and this is coming in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you so excited by this one?
I gotta be honest, I had not known Peter Greenaway prior to this announcement, which I found out about in the Discord.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't been able to check the Discord since I started running errands like 6 hours ago.
So I was very intrigued by people talking about it in the Discord, and this cover was gorgeous, interesting cover. And so I looked it up, and I just want to watch every single movie he's made now. They all seem so interesting, including this one, and kind of right up my alley. So I'm all in. I'm all in regards to a blind buy for this one, just because it seems so intriguing to me.
Have you still not seen The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover?
I'm not.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems like a very Jeremy film too.
I know. I mean, this one seems like a very Jeremy film, to be honest.
It does, for sure.
Uh,
Stan, I did not write trivia questions for this show. Sorry.
I will definitely check a lot of his stuff out from here on out.
By the way, I forgot to ask, how'd you do with the trivia on Sunday, Jeremy?
Oh. I tried so hard. For anybody who doesn't know, Ryan was like, don't go crazy because we don't want you winning everything. And I'm like, me? I never win anything. He's like, well, yeah, but it's possible you could win more than one thing. And I was like, all right, I'll just go after the one thing I want, which is the Sony Pictures box set.
Oh man.
And then whoever the fuck, I can't even remember. Again, I have such short-term memory. Stole it out from underneath me.
Eric Johnson, who's also from the Discord.
Yes.
I gotta admit, I was like a proud papa. We got like 5 of the winners were from our Discord.
I know, that's great. I did notice that, and I was happy about that. Although I'm in the Discord and should have won the Sony Pictures box set.
You probably should have.
I was trying so desperately. I was even thinking, what kind of question is he going to ask? And I was doing like pre-show research during the show research, and I still didn't get it.
Ashton says, I met Greenaway at the American Cinematheque for the new 4K screening of Draftsman Contract and Q&A and lecture. He was great, although that was a BFI release that just came out like 2 months ago.
Oh, so was this event recently, Ashton? I guess.
I bet that was very recently.
Oh, that's a bummer. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't know about him sooner. I would have loved to have gone to that event because I love the Arrow at American Cinematheque.
Yep.
Stan's giving me a bunch of recommendations, and I promise I will check them out soon, Stan. I am very intrigued by this filmmaker, so I will be checking out. I will be ordering this and checking out a lot of other stuff of his.
I actually just fairly recently got in that Draftsman Contract release.
And this one I'm definitely getting.
So this one, April 25th, Best Buy is getting an exclusive 4K steelbook of The Man Who Fell to Earth, which is very out of print disc previously, and now we are getting a 4K disc from Best Buy. And yeah, curious to see how this one looks.
DC.
You can't meet everyone, Jeremy.
I can try. A boy can dream.
I mean, you just fulfilled your list of top 5 favorite directors.
I did. I was telling Ryan about this because I just met. I finally, after many times of trying, got to meet and chat with Paul Thomas Anderson, my second favorite. So I was like, oh, that completes my top list, my top 5, which is Charlie Kaufman, Paul Thomas Anderson, Quentin Tarantino, Bong Joon-ho, and Edgar Wright.
Ashton says it was before the Blu-ray came out. It was the U.S. premiere.
Okay, so but still probably within the last year or so. And in terms of DC's comment, I wouldn't have even had to necessarily meet him, but just judging on his films,
right,
from reading about them extensively today after this announcement from Severin and learning about him, I think I would have just loved to have heard him, have a lecture about it and talk about it.
Eric, sorry to hear about this. Hopefully your mom is all right. It seems like we got a lot of friends going through medical stuff right now.
Yeah, sorry, Eric. Keep us posted.
I believe this is let me yeah, that is it, my friends. I thought we had 1 or 2 more.
We made it.
Yeah, The Man Who Fell to Earth. The imprint releases for May just got announced. Could not get them in time. We will talk about those next week, of course. How much longer do you got, my friend?
I can do like 20, 30 minutes.
All right. We will. Yes, Tony, I barely missed it. It went up like 10 minutes before the show started. It was rough.
John Peters' comment made me laugh very.
Call me when you successfully meet Brie Larson.
Yeah. You remember that story?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Stan's met PT. He's really sweet, actually. Pretty notoriously against photos, just like QT, which is why I don't have one with him. But we did talk for like 10, 15 minutes. He was really cool.
We will go ham on imprint first thing first next Thursday night, Tony. Promise. Let's see. Paul Thomas Anderson is in the top 2 of the Anderson triplets. Love that. Yeah, we got Arrow announcements tomorrow. We will likely have Shout Factory announcements next week. There's VS announcements coming before next Thursday.
Mhm.
It's going to be a busy time next week. And of course, Dr. Will Dodson will be back, as it will be the first Thursday of the month.
All right.
And now we'll talk about what's coming out next week, in case you forgot. We got Training Day coming in 4K next week. Are you getting the Steelbook of that from Best Buy?
I have not ordered it yet, but I definitely need something to get free shipping with the Man Who Fell to Earth, so maybe.
Well, yeah, the Man Who Fell to Earth needs to go up already. Come on.
Oh,
Marathon Man 4K from Kino is coming out next week. The Rocky Collection is coming out 4K. The Texas Chainsaw 4K will officially be out. I know some people have already been getting those in hand. Dragonheart 4K from Shout Factory. I got to be honest, and I think you've seen this, right? You've seen Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
It was really, yeah, it was surprisingly good.
The
first one was very meh, but this one, yeah,
I'm dying to see this.
Oh yeah, it was. I didn't know you hadn't seen it yet. It was really good.
Absolutely need to hear it.
A lot in there for adults, not just kid stuff. In fact, fairly dark for a kids movie, in my opinion.
That's what I've heard.
Oh,
Sardis says I should ask you trivia questions to feed your ego before you leave. What do you think?
You have some backup ones from the show, and do I get a Sony Pictures box set?
I can make it work where I can send you like a picture of the Sony Pictures box set that I have.
Yeah, but you also have to mail me a printer so I can print out the picture.
Oh, I just meant text it to you.
Oh, okay. I'll take it.
Let's go with the Paul Thomas Anderson question then. What was his first movie he directed?
Oh, Hard 8.
Thank you. I was so glad that you got that.
Yeah. Wave says, did I ask him about getting any of his movies onto 4K? I wish I had, for the sake of physical media lovers everywhere, but I did not. I was too busy selfishly gushing over him and telling him how much I relate and how they affected me. I was a me monster.
Kubo and the Two Strings comes out on 4K next week. The Adventures of Batman comes out on 4K. The Box Troll, or not 4K, just the Adventures of Batman. My apologies. The Box Trolls 4K. This is coming, of course, in Steelbook and Standard. The Scream 4K. If anybody missed the Steelbook for this is getting re-released already by Paramount, which is kind of weird. So yeah, that is coming out. Secret of the Inca is coming from Kino Lorber. Devotion is coming out in 4K with everybody loving Jonathan Majors right now. I could see more people picking that up than expected. Hollywood Shuffle from Criterion next week. Betwixt Now and Sunrise, that's coming out next week. Millionaires Express coming from Arrow. Kamen Rider Black coming, I believe, from Discotheque. 2 films by Marguerite Duras from Criterion. Resident Alien Season 2, if you're into that. Here's that John Wick Steelbook collection you wanted.
Yeah, and Martin's like, I was like, oh, this is a must. And he's like, 4 is coming out, you ding dong.
Tony wants to know, did you get any movies signed by PTA?
I did. I had him sign my personal favorite by him, and my 4th favorite film of all time, Punch Drunk Love, and the Criterion release. And then I, which by the way would probably be the first one, just based on the.
I assume that would be the first 4K.
First one to get a 4K, yeah. And then just because where I was able to meet him and chat with him for a while happened to be the 70mm premiere of Boogie Nights. I had also brought my Boogie Nights for him to sign.
Nice.
I got those 2 signed by him.
And that sounds fun.
It was a fun event. I'm a big fan of Resident Alien, by the way. It's a really fun show. The only reason I don't get this release, same thing with the first season, no bonus features. And that annoys me. It's like, I can just watch the show. I can download the show and watch the show, or watch
for now.
Yeah. Or I can download it and have it on my computer permanently and not, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean,
You
not
know,
necessarily.
I'm as much of a physical media person as the next person, as you know. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on here. But it bums me out when they release stuff with no bonus features.
To a point, however, with TV, I think it's a little bit different. Just getting anything, I think, is decent on TV.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
All right.
Sardis says I need to ask you questions about Peter Greenaway because you said you researched him.
Well, I researched movies.
Anthony says Sardis said to ask Jeremy questions. Jeremy, where do you rank Airheads in the Adam Sandler filmography?
Oof. It's up there. It's actually one of my favorites by him. Probably top 5 even. No. Definitely top 10 though.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense to be like 8 or 9.
Best.
Oh.
And then you don't think so?
No.
What's my 4th favorite movie of all time?
What for you, yes.
What do you rank above? What do you rank above?
Well, Uncut Gems is definitely above it.
Wow, I disagree. I think it's funny because there's a lot of people who aren't hardcore film lovers like us that don't even know about Punch Drunk Love and saw Uncut Gems because of it got a ton of rave and was a big deal. And they think, wow, I've read, Adam Sandler took a dramatic turn for this. I'm like, he did this years ago with Punch.
Well, and he's done it like 10 times.
Yeah, I relate so much more to Punch, even though I love Uncut Gems. Okay. In fact, in terms of, you're going to kill me for this. I just wanted to hide. I would rank in terms of dramatic performances. I really, really enjoyed him in the Meyerowitz stories.
I did too.
So for me personally, it goes Punch Drunk Love.
I don't think we talked about. Did we talk about that? I had, for some reason, like a really existential weekend. I watched Dick Johnson Is Dead, and the next day watched the Meyerowitz stories.
Oh, what a double feature!
And then I started cutting myself.
The Meyerowitz stories is rough, but it's a beautiful movie, and he's phenomenal in it. Everybody's really good in that. So for me, it's that. So it's Punch Drunk Love, Meyerowitz stories, Uncut Gems, and then in terms of comedy performances, Billy Madison remains my favorite. Then probably Happy Gilmore. So I guess that's the top 5. But then for me, but Airheads would be near.
Wedding Singer has to be up there.
Wedding Singer would probably be number 6.
Wedding Singer, it has to be. I like it way more than Happy Gilmore.
Okay,
I think Wedding Singer. I think Wedding Singer has a lasting appeal that Happy Gilmore doesn't.
I like this, how this simple Anthony question has spun us off on this. Wedding Singer, no, you're actually very right. Wedding Singer may very well be number 5. Oh my god!
I know you love Funny People.
I love Funny People, and I completely forgot about it. Funny People is way better than people give it credit for.
JB, do you mean Rain on Me?
Yeah.
Let's
not forget Spanglish.
Wedding Singer is whack. Celeste, what?
Oh no! I have a beef to pick with Celeste.
Hello, Celeste.
Oh, hi. When my video popped up in the show, in the award show, Celeste said, "Oh, bro's got Fraser," just because it happened to be sitting on myself, and I'm like, "Whoa, coming at me!" I just happen to have certain ones, and I have a rhyme or a reason to them.
Oh, it's Rain Over Me. Okay.
Yes, and that's a good film too. I don't think it's his strongest dramatic performance compared to some of the others. I think I would definitely put Wedding Singer at 5. You're right, Brian. Then maybe Happy Gilmore at 6. Then maybe Spanglish, because I really like. Oh no! Hold on.
Are you thinking of Click?
Click makes me bawl my eyes out. You can say all you want about Click, but I sob at Click. No matter how many times I watch it, I still sob.
You got to be careful having beef with Celeste because Celeste is vegan.
I didn't start the beef. I was wondering what the bro comment was.
Celeste says we got beef, and you said that's impossible.
That's impossible. You're vegan. I got no beef with you, Celeste. Okay, here's the new ranking. It's weirdly accurate.
It's so accurate. Oh man.
Punch Drunk Love, Meyerowitz stories, Uncut Gems, Funny People, Wedding Singer, top 5. Then Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore,
This turned into the new topic.
Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Spanglish, Airheads.
8 Crazy Nights. No, I'm just kidding.
I like 8 Crazy Nights. I don't know what number 10 would be, but there's my top 10 minus whatever the 10th one is. It might be Click. I sob.
Anyways, so we can finish these real quick. Hunt is coming out, and I believe this is a well-go release. The Quiet Man with John Wayne is coming from Paramount next week. The Arsène Lupin collection is coming from Kino. The Bliss of Mrs. Blossom is Kino, I believe. The next release of the Something Weird Kino Classics Exploitation Forbidden Fruit line called Nudist Life finally releases. Let's see. The Macabre Season 3 is finally coming out, since we've been talking about that so much. Criterion India Song getting released.
As you know, hold off all Criterion purchases until July and November.
Jeremy, I know that you pre-ordered the Lewd Boat. That finally comes out next week.
Thank God. I think I got my shipping notification today. People were naming some other great Adam Sandler movies in here that I was forgetting about. Waterboy, Big Daddy. Big Daddy's a good one.
Big Daddy is good.
And also, Anthony says number 10 is Dirty Work. I don't consider that an Adam Sandler movie.
Not really.
If I did, it would be number 1 because I love Dirty Work.
What's going on, Chris Silver? All right. So before you have to leave.
Wait, what was my comment? You commented.
Forgot your comment.
During the award show, when my video popped up for the nominees, Celeste goes, "Oh, bro's got Fraser." I'm just starting beef.
I think like 4 people said it, actually.
No, people were calling out different titles.
Yeah. I love how the moment we showed your collection, everybody has to show off their collection.
Yeah, that was my other big beef. I saw that in the comments, and I was like, whoa! I didn't even know what everybody else's videos looked like. I just thought it would be a cool backdrop for this video. But apparently, I fell onto the old bandwagon yet again.
All right. So the topic that I made for myself tonight, since it was just going to be me. We're going to go through 5 films that are primarily one person, and we're going to discuss them because I don't want you, unless you have something that's not on this list, then you can throw it on there.
Okay. I have some thoughts in my head, but I don't know if they're on your list or not.
We're going to go through my 5, and then we'll talk about yours real quick. My big disclaimer here, I have yet to see Locke with Tom Hardy, and everybody says that's like the best one. I need to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
I can tell you right now, it's not the best one, even though I haven't seen it yet either. There's no way it's better than my number 1 pick, which is probably on your list.
Your number 1 pick is also my number 1 pick, I believe.
Probably.
Because we just talked about it recently. So my number 5, which is not, in my opinion, like an overall great film.
Anthony says I could always see Cocaine Bear tomorrow. No big deal.
Number 5, I have I Am Legend with Will Smith. I think it was entertaining. I'm curious to see what they're doing with a second one that they're supposedly working on now. I thought let me throw out here. I feel like I need to give a disclaimer for this one. For this topic, I think it's very important for these to be able to be entertaining with only one person.
Yeah.
DC says, wait, what's the question? We're talking about films that have only one person, one actor throughout the entire film, and that's it.
Move on to ones with only 2 actors, which I have a much better list for.
Yeah, there's probably quite a few more of those.
If Fu thought Locke was very good, all caps, because he hates everything. So
not everything. He loves Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I guess.
Sure, we found that out today.
So my number 4 is one that was actually kind of close to me. I had a friend growing up that knew the family from this one. 127 Hours. I actually think that
the family. You said
we had a family friend that knew the guy that actually Aaron Ralston or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
We had somebody that knew him. I actually really liked 127 Hours. I really don't love James Franco a lot of the time, but I think it was surprisingly compelling for somebody not only being one person in a film, but literally standing in one spot for an entire film. That is hard to do. What do you think of 127 Hours?
It's been so long since I've seen it. I legitimately don't think I watched it since it was released in theaters. But I remember enjoying it overall, despite also being a bit back and forth on Franco in general. I remember very much liking the score, the soundtrack for that movie.
Nice.
That's the thing that comes to mind.
DC was talking about I Am Legend, says it has 2 other actors. Yes. The caveat, I guess, for this was one actor that's in at least like 90% of the film.
Yeah.
That's it for the most part.
I also apologize to Celeste. They said that Frasier is their favorite show, so it was a genuine comment where I saw. My apologies.
My number 3 is one that doesn't get talked about enough nowadays, but somebody just said it a minute ago in the chat. Let me pull it up. This is, I think, 2010.
Oh, someone said it already?
Yep, it was DC, who I just keep highlighting. Buried with Ryan Reynolds. Really enjoyed that movie, which is crazy because just like 127 hours, it's somebody in one position for the entire film. But it was compelling as hell.
And so is that new Alexander Aja film. Is that his name?
Aja is how I always say it. I don't know.
From last year. That came out early last year, I believe, right? Very similar to Buried and not quite as good, but still enjoyable.
I've not seen it yet.
I forget what it was even called.
Yeah. Number 2 for me, I think, is the one that everybody goes to when they think about this topic, and that's Castaway. I think Castaway is nearly the epitome of what this topic should be. Sure. I think that it's Tom Hanks, and he is going to be compelling, especially when he is on an island for 2 years. I think that was the length of time. Yeah, I love this one.
Zombies Ate My Arm says, wait, no one mentioned Going Overboard in their top Adam Sandler films? Go on.
Fu says, I enjoyed both the original and the Jake Gyllenhaal version of The Call. I did not. I hated The Call.
You didn't like his version's called The Guilty, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I've not seen the original, but the Jake Gyllenhaal version, God, I hated it.
You did not like? I honestly was not a big fan either.
All right. So obviously I'm going through this very quickly since you have to go, but my number 1, I think is...
If you wanted to slow down.
No. I just want to hear your response on this one because I think we're going to have a lot to say about this film.
Oh, Oxygen was the Aha film.
Oh, okay.
That was the name of it. Go ahead.
My number 1 in this category is, I think, easily the best film of this, primarily because it has one of the best contemporary actors in this. And, well, he's up there. The answer for this, in my opinion, is Moon.
Yeah, there's no possible way that anybody could argue that. And if get the hell out of here.
I'm so glad we were talking about the same movie.
Yeah,
so why is Moon so good?
Can you imagine if you were like, Moon, and then I was like, Life of Pi? No, Moon is, I mean, yeah, Moon wins any category that it fits into because it... Have I been doing it that often? Sorry. I'm so excited for the movie. I'm like, Elizabeth Banks, I need my... Yeah, Moon is just such a brilliant film. It's interesting because I don't know if I've really liked much of Duncan Jones's other films afterwards, especially Warcraft. I didn't like, and it's possible it's just because I'm not a big Warcraft player,
right?
And he did another one that I can't think of off the top of my head too since then.
Pulling it up right now.
But Source Code he did, which was all right. Anyways.
Yeah, Source Code was the other one. Oh, and then he did Mute.
Mute was like the technical sequel to Moon.
I've seen it.
It was a Netflix original with good old Paul Rudd. What a charmer. But it was obviously not nearly as good. Moon is just like this like thing that shouldn't exist. I feel like Duncan Jones somehow just like whipped this out, and it's his. I think it's his writer director debut.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like way good than it ever deserves to be. I don't know how he did it. And to choose Sam Rockwell just enhanced that. For me, he is my favorite actor of all time.
He's up there for sure. I would throw Gary Oldman as a very similar to Sam Rockwell. They both have this ability to like be the opposite of Tom Hanks, because like in Castaway, it's still just fucking Tom Hanks stuck on an island. It's not an actual character. It is uncanny how Gary Oldman and Sam Rockwell can disappear into characters and they are gone immediately.
Yeah. 100% agree, and that's why I love Sam Rockwell so much. And I do agree with you with the comparison to Gary Oldman. That's a good comparison. I don't know. Moon had everything going for it.
Incredible story, beautiful visuals. I'm still astonished that they let him make this movie for his first movie. Like,
no, well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it like shouldn't exist. Like, it blows my mind that it's even a thing. And it's like this amazing script, amazing directorial debut, like you said, amazing visuals, a top-notch performance by my best favorite actor. And obviously we're putting it in this category because he's the only physical actor in it. And say what you want about Kevin Spacey as a person, but Kevin Spacey as the computer is great also. Yeah. Kevin Spacey is still a great actor despite personal things. So it's just a great movie overall. I love Moon.
Chester says, I enjoyed All Is Lost with Robert Redford.
That's a good one too. It popped into my head when Ryan... if we're talking about movies that are primarily only one person, and we're is Duncan Jones a twat, John Pete?
He looks like it.
Really?
I will say that. I don't know anything about the guy, but he looks like it.
I don't know anything about him either. That's interesting, though. Yeah, it helps that he's Bowie's son. That gets him some bonus points for me, too. DC brings up a good point, because that new Willem Dafoe movie where he's trying to be Bo Burnham looks pretty good.
Yep.
Can we include Bo Burnham's inside?
If that's the case, then that's my new number one.
Feels like a film. Yeah, you could bump down Moon to number 2 for that.
Chris Kohler would dual count. I would say yes. For 90% of the film, it really is one person.
Here's what I was going to say a second ago before getting sidetracked. Because we're counting Moon, where technically Kevin Spacey's in it, but he's a voice.
Yep.
And it's primarily one person. I would include in my list probably...
Don't say her.
No, although I love her. I would include maybe in the number 2 or 3 spot Phone Booth. Because technically Kiefer Sutherland's on the phone the whole time, and it's mostly Colin Farrell.
Yes.
But I love that movie.
I think there's more than 90, or not more than, I think it's less than 90% that he is by himself, though.
You think?
I think. It's been a while. I'd have to rewatch that one.
It's been a while for me too, but I really love that film quite a bit.
Yeah, so I do think Duel would count. Let's see. The Shallows is probably one of the better recent sharksploitation films, says USNA 98. I would agree. It's good. I think Blake Lively can actually hold her own on that one for sure.
This one came to my head when you first brought up the category earlier, before I even jumped on. And then I was like, oh shit, technically it's 2 people. But I'm still going to throw it out there because I actually love this movie, and that's Grand Piano. It's only 2 people the whole movie, so it's still semi, it falls into the category, but it's close.
Right.
But it's such a great movie, and people forget that that's written by Damien Chazelle prior to his claim to fame.
John wants to know, is Tom Hanks just plain gotten bad?
I don't think he's gotten bad. He's just Tom Hanks.
Right. I don't think he's like Tom Cruise. He's too famous.
I don't dislike Tom Hanks. There's movies he's been in lately that I've disliked because I just felt too bland.
Elvis.
But even when he tries to play other characters, including in Elvis, where they
Osmosis Jones is primarily one person.
If you're not counting cartoon, that's true. It's just Bill Murray. I don't, Tom Hanks, like Mr. Rogers movie was great, but it's still Tom Hanks. Like, I'm not watching Mr. Rogers. I'm like, this is Tom Hanks. That's the problem with Tom Hanks, is he's, no matter how hard he tries, he can't get into a role. It feels like.
I love how I said don't say her, and everybody's like, her who? You love who?
Why did you not want to say her?
Because I know that some people jump into this saying that it's primarily one person and then a voice. However, like there's a lot of other people in this movie, and then Chris Pratt has a pretty decent sized role, and
Yeah.
it's a wonderful movie and beautiful, and Joaquin is amazing as always.
As always.
Voice of Scarlet, astonishing.
Voice of Scarlet, Oscar nominated Voice of Scarlet.
Locke with Tom Hardy, surprisingly effective as he's mostly in a car the whole time. I need to see it. This is the one that people have talked about when I talk about this type of category that I've just not seen.
Yeah, I'm interested in checking that out now. It's one I've always meant to check out, and now that we just happen to randomly be talking about this topic, I guess I need to make it a priority.
Stan says Silent Running. That's another one that was recently released by Arrow. I have actually never seen Silent Running either.
Wild with Reese Witherspoon. Do you know my name? I didn't really like that movie, which is another one that came to mind.
John wants us to stop the Elvis slander.
Technically, no, I guess not. For a second, I don't know. I guess you couldn't. I don't know. I was gonna say Gravity, which is.
Dylan Smithy says Tom Hanks should star in a Gaspar Noé film if he wants to rejuvenate his career.
I would be the first. I would pre-order tickets to that. I would definitely. Yeah, I would pre-order tickets to that. That might be the thing to get. I don't disagree with him. He needs to take a drastic. I
would love to see a drastic take.
Yeah, he needs to do something drastic for me to pay attention and start. Again, I don't dislike the guy, but for me to start taking him seriously as an actor, he would have to do something drastic. Gravity is technically two people, but really primarily Sandra for like a large part of the film, right?
Yeah.
Would that qualify? Do you feel like?
I don't think it's 90% that it's just her. I think Clooney's in it for like 25.
All right. Well, I love that movie too.
A Serbian Hanks.
Can you?
Yes, Celeste. Jeremy loves it too. Celeste says, finally watched Bodies tonight, and it rips. I can't, man. I hope you do an analysis on that one because you can do a lot with that.
It's so good, and I don't think it got enough recognition last year.
No, it definitely did not. Sean wants to know, would Searching count?
I think Searching would count. Right? I'm trying. I mean, there's other people that I think he talks to on video chat a little bit, but it's probably still 90% John Cho.
It most likely
is.
Yeah,
I'm close to 90% John Cho.
That's been a long time. Yeah.
Glad you liked Bodies, Celeste. That was and I did not see that ending coming. That's the thing I love about that movie. I'm usually good at predicting that kind of stuff, and I
loved that movie.
I had no idea. I'm trying to think if we're missing any before I leave. I
hope that wasn't a typo and you just always call him Peter Davidson. Pete Davidson was so good, and I love the ending so much. Yeah, the ending was great. And then there's Nerd, of course.
Mr. Davidson, could you...
Standing at the airport with a sign, Mr. Peter Davidson.
Peter, I really loved you. He's like, the last person to call me Peter was Kate Beckinsale.
Mr. DeMarsco's throwing out a Man Escape, the Bresson film. I've not seen it.
I've heard of it, but I have not seen it either.
Sorry to disappoint, John.
And I know I heard of it enough to feel like it could qualify in this category. I
keep hitting my microphone. Celeste says it was a typo, but I just said I did because it was so funny. Oh man.
Call him Peter because of his BDE, says Stan. What's BDE?
Big dick energy.
Oh, see, I'm not hip with the times, guys.
Or the big dicks. Jason to this topic is Hell in the Pacific with Lee Marvin and Toshiro Mifune. Both are solo for periods of the film. Interesting. That would go into your two people films topic, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Grand Piano.
Gravity would be in that one probably.
Gravity and Grand Piano, and then I guess Phone Booth, since you're saying it doesn't qualify, would fall.
Maybe it feels to me like it doesn't, but it's been so long since I've seen it.
It deserves a rewatch for me too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while, and I'd like to give it a rewatch.
Speaking of rewatch, like I'm not saying the film is terrible, but oh gosh, I don't know if you've done this in a long time. Gravity does not play well at home, I don't think. I think it's like really only really well done in a theater.
Really?
Yeah.
That's another one I haven't watched in 8. When did that come out? Do you know what year that was?
2012, 13.
Wow, yeah, a long time ago. It was 100% before I moved here, and I moved here in 2015.
Yeah, I think it probably had to be 13, 12 or 13.
I don't know if I remember seeing it in theaters, maybe even twice, because I really liked it a lot. And then I remember watching it with my mom at home because she wanted to see it once it came out on Blu-ray. So I did watch it at home once at least. And at that time in my life, I remember enjoying it, watching it from home and not in the theaters. But I don't think I've watched it in many years. Do you think even if you turned off all the lights and watched it in 4K?
Yeah, because it's such an expansive movie.
Yeah.
That maybe if you had like a 120-inch projector screen and full-on Atmos surround, something like that, maybe. But also, it really only worked because the 3D was so big then too. The Gravity was huge for 3D.
Yeah, it was. A regret I have. Stan says Phone Booth is kind of on the cusp. I guess you're right. I need to rewatch that one. It's one of my favorites. I regret last year. Vanishing Point is more than one person.
I'm trying to think if I remember what Vanishing Point is.
Vanishing Point definitely has more than one person. Gravity is a spectacle.
What is Vanishing Point?
At last year's, I can't remember. Dennis Quaid is in it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But it's more than just there's more than just one person in that one. You can't watch Gravity in 4K, says DC. Did they not come out with a 4K of Gravity? That's a crime. I didn't know I didn't know one way or the other when I said it, but I assumed that it had a 4K by this point.
I can't spell Gravity. I thought it did. Nope, it does not have a 4K.
Wow, that's interesting. Last year's Beyond Fest.
Okay, then I've definitely not seen Vanishing Point. I think what I was thinking about is what you're thinking about, and I just did some Googling. I think it's Vantage Point.
Oh, yeah, I am thinking of Vantage Point then. Sorry, Stan, or whoever brought that up. Yeah, I was definitely thinking of the wrong movie. I've never seen Vanishing Point either then, in that case.
Tony says the Blu-ray Diamond Deluxe edition of Gravity has the silent space audio. Such an experience.
Okay. Interesting. I'll wait till 4K comes out for that. I have it on Blu-ray.
What about movies with no characters, like Batman versus Superman?
That's a good one.
Oh, man.
Last year's Beyond Fest, they did Gravity at the IMAX theater here in Los Angeles as one of their events, but I was seeing something the same day as it. But I would have loved to have seen it in theaters again after all these years.
Paul says the Spalding Gray monologues. I've heard that those are great. I've not seen them.
I have not either. By the way, in terms of trying to revitalize Tom Hanks' career, what about Human Centipede 4?
This movie also sucks ass.
Yeah, we've seen Tom Hanks suck ass. Now he sucks a different kind of ass.
Wow.
You won't be able to recognize him because his face will be up someone's ass.
You won't be able to rectimize him.
Human Hankapede.
It sounds like a South Park episode title.
I don't even like that franchise, and I might immediately to that.
Oh, man.
Turner and Hooch 2, Human Hankapede.
Sean says my sex tape is 100% just me. Does that count?
Yeah.
Are you in 90% of it?
Yeah, and then I lose about 10% at the end.
Human Centipede 4 or Toy Story 5. I would love to see Tom Hanks in a Tarantino film.
You know, out of all the stupid suggestions we've thrown out, that's the most likely to happen. I could see him QT doing something like that and trying to like really shine a light on him in some way.
Easily.
Like that. Coen Brothers did it with Lady Killers, even though that's one of their weaker films.
It definitely is.
It's one of their weaker films, but I think it's a better performance for Tom Hanks than a lot of his, in my opinion. Like I'm like, oh, he's actually like trying in this one, like
because he's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my friend, how much time till you go have to do a line?
Hang on a second. What was that? Yeah, I should probably leave soon, I guess. It starts at 9.
All right.
9 my time, but it was feel free to continue on. I didn't mean to rush you through your topic for today. I just didn't
you're not. You're good. We are going to be doing a Patreon only stream right after this. I am posting the chat link in the Discord, and we are going to be doing this in about 5 minutes. And I also posted it on the Patreon.
Nice. I will join in on my drive to the theater.
On that note, I did want to shout out that I haven't done this in a long time. So anybody, I get some cancellations sometimes. If anybody wants to be on the show and you've ever been curious or want to be interviewed or anything like that, let me know. I've got a long list of people that I want to talk to, but I am always open to adding things to the list. And other than that, like I would really appreciate reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It helps bump things up, and just sharing this around. The awards was a really great thing, but the funny thing about all that, people look at my channel like it's big sometimes. I'm still just like one of the tiny guys. I'm like 50 subs away from 2,000 finally, so that'd be nice to hit soon.
Let's get them up there. If I had social media, I'd share it around. Like for anybody
I hate begging for this because I never do, and I always feel awkward doing it. But it would be swell. And if you ever are interested in it, our Patreon is huge, and we do a lot of stuff pretty much every single week. We got a watch party this weekend that people have been voting on all week.
Oh yeah, what's going on right now?
The winner at the moment, the winning movie that we're going to be streaming completely legally for everybody is, Blowout at the moment.
Wow. Not even in my top 2 picks.
Yeah, this one is not winning heartily. It is currently beating The Terminator.
Yeah, I love Blowout, but I was leaning towards something else. But I'll be there.
Thanks to all these patrons. These are the current patrons. I appreciate you guys just supporting the channel and being wonderful. And yeah,
it's not begging, by the way. It's shameless self-promotion.
I'm always ashamed.
It's ashamed self-promotion.
It is very much so.
Yeah.
I kind of want to rename the episode "Once Upon a Time in America" now.
Once Upon a Time in I thought you were going to rename it Toy Story 5 Human Hanky.
Oh, and this is after we had an Adam Sandler chat.
I really like Turner and Hooch 2 Human Hanky. That one makes me laugh a lot.
Oh man. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, everybody. This has been a good fun week. Next week is going to be huge. We got Dr. Will Dotson back again, and lots of fun stuff over the next couple months. I have 2 full months scheduled at the moment of guests, so I'm always open for it. But yeah, hit me up if you ever want to be on. Anything else for you to promote, my friend? Like Nothing. Following you on Instagram? Wait.
I'm trying to get it back. I actually, I don't know if I'll have time before I leave, but tonight I have to write my daily angry letter to Facebook to reinstate my account that I've been doing on a daily basis. And if anybody, I said something in the Discord, but if anybody in the chat that's not a Patreon happens to know somebody who works at Facebook, please reach out to me.
Reach out to Jeremy on Facebook.
Reach out, yeah. Please reach out to me on Facebook if you happen to know anybody who works for Facebook, so that you can help recover my blocked account on Facebook. Nothing to promote exactly. I will just. There's so many good ones. We could do a whole episode on. Like, why do we even bother with the one-person movie topic? We should have either stuck to Adam Sandler films or Tom Hanks potential films.
Oh man, I love it.
The only thing I'll say, just because I think it pertains to this community and people would find it interesting, is I happen to I didn't plan it. Well, I did plan it this way because I bought the tickets, but the fact that they were happening back to back this weekend, I did not plan. I'm doing 2 actor movie-a-thons this weekend. The first one will be Friday. It's the Fraser-a-thon, and it's a Brendan Fraser 4-film marathon at the Arrow with School Ties, The Whale, The Mummy, and Blast from the Past, with a Q&A with Fraser. I lost you at Blast from the Past?
No, lost me at The Whale. It should have been Encino Man.
Would have been fun, actually. They had to promote the new one, so that's fine.
Yeah.
And he'll be there doing a Q&A. Invisible Maniac Tom Hanks.
Bandits.
And so that's Friday evening, and then Saturday evening at the New Beverly is the Denzel-a-thon with 4 back-to-back Denzel Washington films. And I don't know what those 4 are yet, because in classic New Bev fashion, we won't.
Oh, they're not announcing it.
But I'm super stoked to have 2 great, very different actor movie-a-thons at 2 of my favorite theaters this weekend.
Nice.
So I'll be posting in the Discord about that.
Sweet. All right, everybody. We'll see you next Thursday. I've got other stuff coming out on the channel, of course, as always. If you ever need anything, email them in the description below. Have a good weekend. Be safe.
Hankhead. Anthony.